What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we got the preview to one of the most anticipated matchups in the history of this rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State. Going to be going over the keys to the game for both teams, where the offenses and defenses stack up against each other, what both teams will have to do to win this game, and I'm also going to be giving my score prediction at the end of the video. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so it is number 2 Ohio State going on the road in Ann Arbor in the Big House, taking on number 3 Michigan. Big Ten championship on the line, CFP playoffs implications on the line. Both teams 11-0 for the second straight year heading into the game, and this might be one of the most anticipated matchups in the history of this rivalry with everything going on. You got the sign stealing saga going on for Michigan. Jim Harbaugh suspended for this game. It is the last game of his suspension, so we won't be on the sidelines for this one. And for Ohio State, the motivation is there as well. They've lost 2 straight games to Michigan, so the motivation for both teams is there. Michigan, this whole team, they think everybody is against them. It's Michigan versus everybody, so this is one of the most, if not the most anticipated matchup in the history of this rivalry. Heading into this one, Michigan is favored by 3 points right now, and according to ESPN's matchup predictor, Michigan has a 55.1% chance to win, Ohio State 44.9%. Ohio State coming off of a 37-3 win over Minnesota, as they are coming off of TreVeyon Henderson's 15 carry, 146 yards, and 2 touchdown performance. Michigan, on the other hand, coming off of a tight game against Maryland, 31-24, coming off of Blake Corum's 28 carries, 94 yards, and 2 touchdown performance. You might be wondering why I mentioned both TreVeyon Henderson and Blake Corum to start this video, and that is because the team that rushes for more yards has won the last 21 games between Michigan and Ohio State. So keep that in mind come Saturday. I feel like coming into this one, Michigan, throughout the whole season, they were a very consistent and one of the most consistently dominant team in all of college football. They've slowed down a little bit coming into the game, and Ohio State is definitely playing their best football up to this point coming into the game. So let's go ahead, first start with Ohio State's offense. It's led by Kyle McCord, TreVeyon Henderson, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Kyle McCord on the season is 211 of 318 for 2,899 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. His top target is obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got 62 receptions, 1,093 yards, and 13 touchdowns on the season. And then Ohio State has their running back TreVeyon Henderson, 118 carries for 794 yards and 10 touchdowns. Now coming into this game, it seems that Michigan finally has the better quarterback between the two teams, as they have J.J. McCarthy. However, Kyle McCord has been getting it done. He also has receiver threats like Emeka Egbuka, Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously Cade Stover, the tight end. They also have Xavier Johnson and Julian Fleming. So Ohio State, we all know they always have the wide receiver threats coming into the game. But I think the key thing here for Ohio State's offense is they have to get the running game going. This is going to be Kyle McCord's first start in the game, and it's going to be on the road in Ann Arbor in a hostile environment, so being able to run the ball is going to take pressure off of McCord. And obviously Michigan, they're going to have to deal with TreVeyon Henderson. Ohio State also has to know Michigan is going to try and get pressure on Kyle McCord, so getting the ball out fast if they're going to pass it is key for them, and just throwing it to your most dynamic player, Marvin Harrison Jr. If he can get going and win against Michigan's secondary, it's going to be a long day for Michigan's defense. However, looking at this Michigan defense, one of the best in the country. They rank first in total defense, allowing only 234.8 yards per game. They also rank 8th in rushing defense, only allowing 90 rushes or 90 rushing yards per game. They rank first in scoring defense, only allowing 9 points per game. They rank second in red zone defense. They also rank third in turnover margin. So this Ohio State offense, besides, Penn State, this is their toughest defense going into the game, and it could be the toughest defense they face all season, as obviously Penn State's defense is good, but so is Michigan's. It's the same defense they went up against last year, besides a few key starters Michigan is missing, but this defense seems to be even better than last year. Obviously Michigan, changed their defense from Don Brown's. They are now a bend but don't break defense, and that has paid off for them recently in this rivalry as they force Ohio State to field goals, and that is going to be key for this defense, forcing Ohio State to field goals when they are driving down the field. And obviously, stopping the run is going to be key. If they can stop the run, force McCord to throw the ball, it's going to be key. But it's also the most important thing in this one is getting pressure on Kyle McCord, making him uncomfortable. This Michigan defense got a lot of pressure on Taulia Tagovailoa last game against Maryland. However, he got away from the pressure, was able to scramble because he's a running quarterback. Michigan, I believe, still had 2 sacks in that game, and they also got 2 safeties against Maryland. Right now, Kyle McCord, he ranks 5th of 140 quarterbacks nationally in passer rating in a clean pocket. However, when under pressure, McCord is just 110th in passing or passer rating. So getting pressure on him definitely pays off. And if you let him sit in the pocket and be comfortable in the pocket, he will be able to find his electric receivers. I do expect Will Johnson to be on Marvin Harrison Jr. throughout this game, but Michigan, they like to play a lot of zone as well. Mike Sainristil is coming off of a 2 interception game, and this Michigan defense forced 3 turnovers, including a scoop and score last game against Maryland. So it's going to be fun, this matchup. But then you look at Michigan's offense. J.J. McCarthy just has not been able to get it going against Penn State or Maryland. Michigan, they ran the ball, I believe, 32, 37 straight times, something like that, against Penn State. I mean, they did not throw the ball once in the second half, and they were able to win the game by 9. J.J. McCarthy basically took the day off. Last game against Maryland, he went 12 of 23, 141 yards and an interception. He threw an interception late in the first half, right before halftime, and after that the offense really was not good once he threw that interception. JJ on the season is 175 of 237, 2,335 yards, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. We all know what he is capable of doing. He showed it time after time this season, so he's gonna have to show up, especially on third downs. Michigan has been one of the best offenses in third down situations because they like to get it in third and short, 3rd and 5 situations, which JJ can handle. Michigan should have Roman Wilson back for this game against Ohio State. He got banged up a little bit against Maryland. On the season, he has 37 receptions, 612 yards, and 10 touchdowns. And obviously, Michigan has Blake Corum, 180 carries, 888 yards, 20 touchdowns on the season. So obviously, the key thing for Michigan is winning at the line of scrimmage against this Ohio State defensive line. It's going to be a tough defense going up against them. If Michigan can, run the ball, it's going to make things a lot easier. Blake Corum, he is fully healthy for this one. He hasn't been for the last 2 years, so that is going to be huge. But Michigan also has Donovan Edwards in the backfield. We also might see him in the passing game as well. But Michigan also has their tight ends Colston Loveland, AJ Barner, and they have Cornelius Johnson and Samaj Morgan, a freshman who has been turning heads. He doesn't get the ball too many times per game, but when he does, he makes the most of his opportunity. So keep an eye on Samaj Morgan. Going up against this Ohio State defense, they ranked 19th nationally in rushing defense, allowing 108.5 yards per game. They do rank 2nd in scoring defense, right behind Michigan, allowing 9.27 points per game. They rank 3rd in total defense, only allowing 252.9 yards per game. The key thing for this Ohio State defense is going to be pass rush. Michigan's offensive line has been struggling in pass rush. It's why they haven't been throwing the ball. JJ McCarthy has been banged up. He was banged up against Maryland, so they've been trying to run the ball a lot more to, not get JJ injured, because this pass protection by Michigan's offensive line has not been good recently. For Ohio State on the defensive line, they have guys like JT Tuimoloau, Michael Hall Jr., but I really think, the key thing is getting pressure on JJ and their pass rush. If they are able to get to the quarterback, Michigan might be forced to go to a one-dimensional offense by running the ball. So that's what's going to have to come in for Ohio State's rushing defense, is stopping the run. So, it's going to be a real interesting matchup. Obviously, Michigan without Jim Harbaugh, Sherrone Moore will be the acting head coach for the 4th time this season. He is 3-0 this season already, looking for his 2nd win over a top 10 team. Let me know what you guys think about this game, your guys' score predictions, what you think will happen in this one. But I think Michigan is going to win this one 24-20. Let me know in the comment section down below your guys' score predictions. It's going to be an interesting game, one of the most anticipated matchups in the history of this rivalry. But other than that, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I'd really appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.